Warning, this video might contain disturbing content. Viewer discretion is advised. When people go missing, we often see their loved ones come forward on TV, begging for their return. But what happens when those exact people turn out to have had a hand in their disappearance? Do the following interviews deceive you, or are you able to see through the facade of pure evil? Today, we dive into 3 soul-wrenching cases in which the interviewee turns out to be the mind behind the crime. Number 1. Tia's Last Night. It's August 2012. 12-year-old schoolgirl Tia Sharp is planning to stay at her grandmother and her boyfriend Stuart Hazell's house in New Addington, UK for a few nights, which she does regularly. Like her 2 younger brothers, Tia loves staying there and completely adores both grandmother Christine and her boyfriend Hazell, or Granddad as she likes to call him. Although Hazell isn't her biological grandfather, she trusts him, she feels safe with him, and she feels that he's an active part of their family. Undoubtedly, that reflects everybody else's view of Hazell in the family. They all trust him. However, Stuart Hazell is not who they think he is. As Tia is developing into a young woman, his behavior and feelings change towards her. Hazell is becoming attracted to and infatuated with Tia. Hazell begins filming Tia in secret. First, he secretly films Tia applying cream to her skin. As his urges grow more sinister, he begins to film Tia in her bed while she's asleep. On the night of August 2nd, grandmother Christine has to work a night shift, which she ever does so often. Therefore, Tia is to spend the night alone with Stuart. Of course she's excited. She gets to spend some time with Granddad. Hazell meets Tia off the tram. They're caught on CCTV, shopping in New Addington. These are the last images of Tia alive. The next day, Christine returns home from her night shift. Hazell tells her that Tia has gone to Croydon to buy shoes in the local mall. When she hasn't returned by 6 p.m., Christine calls Tia's mother, Natalie, to see if she went home. Natalie hasn't seen her either. Hazell, Natalie, and Christine all go to the police station. A missing persons investigation is launched. Christine and Hazell's house is searched. Nothing is found.
Just gotta stay strong. That's what we've got to do. Just gotta stay strong. We want Tia found, to come home. Done. Just want my little girl home. Do everything that it takes, possibly stop everything and find Tia.
Meanwhile, the story is becoming national news in the UK. Hazell leads the search for Tia, wearing a t-shirt with her photo on. As Hazell was the last known person to see Tia alive, he feels like a suspect. Therefore, on August 9th, he calls ITV News, asking to do an interview to clear his name.
Tell me a little bit about Tia's life. I mean, is she a happy girl? Is she jolly? Has she got any problems?
No, she's got no problems at all. She's a happy-go-lucky golden angel. You know what I mean? She's perfect. There's no arguments, no nothing, nothing we can think of. Absolutely nothing.
So Tia stays here Thursday night, just with you. Christine's working. Talk me through Friday up until the last time you see her. Tell me exactly what you did.
Tia's come down the stairs around about half 10, 11, something like that maybe. Because I know she was on about going up to Croydon for about, she wanted to get up early. She picked up your mum's DS up, played the DS for a little while. I said, well, we're going to have some breakfast. So I made her some toast, and she had the toast, and then she wanted a sausage roll, because she's always eating sausage rolls. Basically, then she was sitting there. She doesn't take her washing up out, so I took her washing up out. Just started doing a little bit of washing up in the kitchen. She was in there. She was telling me what she was doing, but I weren't really logging it into my head. I didn't. Do you know what I mean? Remember, like the kids, they talk to you. It goes in one ear, stays there for a second, it goes out. You know what I mean? As I was hoovering, then she walked out. She walked past me from the front room to go out, and she walked out the front door. That is all I know. And she left her phone on charge, because I told her to sit there and leave her phone on charge. I didn't mean leave it on charge, because what Tia doing, she plays on the BB thing, but then she uses it as it's charging, so there's no charge going through to it. So when I said to her, just leave your phone on charge, it means leave her phone on charge, not use it, let it charge up a bit, then you can actually take it with you or whatever, because she's been responsible to go to Croydon before. She's been responsible to go on trains and buses and trams and everything before on her own.
So when she walked past you and out to the door, did she say anything?
She said, oh, goodbye. I said, well, make sure you're back at 6. She went, yeah. And that was it, and then the door closed and she walks out. I don't take precise times and things like that, but when she walked out that door, I know damn well it was 12:10. I called into my clock, because as I was hoovering up the dog's mess by my kitchen, I look up and I've got a great big clock in front of me on the cooker, which says 12:10.
Now listen, you've been living in house arrest,
Basically,
almost, for the last 7 days almost now. How's that been?
Oh, it's been horrible. It's been horrible. Do you know what I mean? The family's, we're stuck inside here, do you know what I mean? We've got all the papers outside, all putting accusations down, and they asked me stupid questions yesterday, like, oh, did you do anything? I said, well, no, I didn't. Excuse my language, but no, I didn't. I'd never think of that. I'd loved her to bits. She's like my own daughter, for God's sake. We had that sort of relationship. It was that sort of thing. It was just, you know, she wanted it, she got it. She's got a loving home. She's never gone without anything, so I can't work it out. What the hell's going on? We're all out there. They want to report the truth.
So do you feel under pressure? Do you feel that perhaps the people are looking at you?
Well, if they believe what they read in the papers, they can do whatever they like. Because I know deep down in my heart that Tia walked out of my house. She walked out of there, and I know damn well, because she was seen walking down the pathway. I know she made that track down to that way. What happened after that is, I don't know.
On the morning of the 10th, Hazell gets up early and leaves the house. When Christine wakes up, a terrible smell is filling her home. She searches the house for the source, but couldn't find it. Shortly after, the police arrives and ask her to leave the house. The house is searched for the 4th, and the last time. The searchers make a gruesome discovery in the loft. They find a decomposing and unrecognizable body, taped up almost like a cocoon. The body of Tia Sharp. Tia was gone, and her body had been in that house the entire time, 12 feet above their heads. Hazell is now the only suspect. He's on the run, but he's caught on CCTV buying booze. Police are called and they arrest him the same evening. Shortly after his arrest, memory cards are recovered from the house. They contain disturbing material from the girl who called Hazell her grandfather. Some of its content is believed to have been captured after her passing. The police had their guy. On May 14, 2013, Hazell was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 38 years, meaning he will be 75 years old before he's eligible for parole. Number 2. The Stalker Next Door. June 2011. 27-year-old Mercer University Law School student Lauren Giddings was about to take the bar exam and make her dream of becoming an attorney a reality. She often met up with her study group at the Mercer Library. However, her friends became concerned when no one had seen Lauren for several days. She wasn't attending her study group, she wasn't responding to emails, and she wasn't answering her phone. Her friends began to worry that something horrible had happened to Lauren. They were right. On the 29th of June, days after she disappeared, her friends used a spare key to enter her room to see if they could uncover where she was. Her purse is there, her keys are there, and her phone is there. But quite unusually, the battery is dead. Around midnight, she's reported missing. At 9 a.m. the following day, investigators enter her apartment. There's no sign of forced entry, but several things lead the investigators to believe that there's a serious nature to this mystery. They deem it critical that she's found as quickly as possible. At 9:40 a.m., a detective takes a closer look at a foul odor coming from a garbage can near the apartment. They find a female torso, but the head, arms, and legs are absent. Police were lucky that the garbage man was running late. Otherwise, the story could have ended differently. DNA testing confirms that the torso belonged to the 27-year-old Lauren Giddings. Police quickly learned from Lauren's friends that something had spooked her days prior to her disappearance. She had a feeling that someone had been in her apartment. She even emailed her boyfriend about this. Later on the 30th, a local news reporter interviews Lauren's next-door neighbor, Stephen McDaniels. Despite everything that is going on, he looks relaxed. That is, until he learns that a body has been uncovered from a nearby garbage can.
And no one's heard from her since.
Did you see her hang out with anyone at the time, anything like that?
I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I mean, I've always hear noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and I we were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see?
I mean, she's as nice as can be. I mean, very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. I mean, the only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but I mean, she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. I mean, the door was locked when everyone got here. I mean, we just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body.
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay. You've been studying for the bar?
No one had seen her since Saturday because we all just, there's not a whole lot of interaction unless we're doing classes.
Right.
And she was doing the online version of it.
You all studied together though?
We were in, there's two different people, there's two companies that provide it. Kaplan provides it and Barbary provides it. I signed up with Barbary and I've been doing the lectures that they have in the mornings. She was doing the Kaplan online, so I hardly ever saw her. I mean, I would see her go out running, but
What time would she go out running?
I don't even know when.
At night or morning?
I saw her midday a couple weeks ago. That was the last time I saw her, was coming back from the bar prep on the main campus because we got moved over there for a week or two.
But she normally would run. That was the
routine
that
she ran all the time. She had a group that she would go running with. I don't know anyone that would want to hurt her. She was as nice a person as there is.
Was she moving soon? Did you know anything about her?
Yeah. She was going to be moving out today. She was supposed to move out today because someone else was going to be moving into her apartment, a new law student.
Do you know if she was where is she from? Is she from Maryland?
Yeah, she's from up in Maryland.
Can I just put this on you so we can hear you? Is that all right?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. And you can just hold on for that. Thank you. So she's from Maryland?
Yeah, she was from up in Maryland. All her family was there, as far as I know. She...
What's going on in your mind right now? What are you thinking?
Why would anyone do this?
She didn't hear anything?
No.
Didn't see anybody?
I just heard something. Maybe I could have helped.
Okay, don't worry. Do you want to sit down for a second? Get something to drink? Do you know if a bunch of her friends are getting together or anything?
That's how I found out that she was missing. A bunch of her friends came over yesterday night around midnight, and they hadn't seen her since Saturday, so they were trying to find out where she was.
So they were knocking on neighbors' doors and stuff?
No, they went in, they had a key to her apartment, and they checked around, didn't see anything out of place. It was locked when everyone got there.
That was midnight?
Yeah, around midnight, and then we went over to law school to see if maybe she was over in the library studying or something. And we looked up in the study rooms on the 3rd floor, and there was no one there. And we came back, we looked around, and just tried to find anything to figure out where she was.
Does it have any family in Georgia?
I don't know. As far as I know, all of her family is from in Maryland.
Have you met her family before?
There was one time that I met them. They came down first year. She had a little dog, a little brown dog, that she would exercise out in front of the law school, and it got hit as she was coming across the road. I heard the car hit it and ran out, and she was there crying, and thankfully there was someone who came along who knew a vet or something, and they helped that, and her family came down I think a couple weeks after that or something, and I met them just briefly.
Right.
But
Their boyfriend or anything?
The police have Stephen McDaniels as a suspect. Cadaver dogs pick up the scent of human remains in both his and Lauren's apartment. During a search, police confiscate Stephen's computer and a camera for further analysis. They also find a master key hidden in his drawer. This master key means that Stephen had access to every other apartment in the complex, including Lauren's. It is later found that Stephen had a pair of Lauren's panties in his drawer. Also, he has stolen her USB drive and uploaded pictures of her onto his own computer. It is clear by now that this guy has had an obsession with Lauren. The police also found posts online that McDaniels had shared, describing what he wanted to do to his neighbor and how to dispose of a human body. Though being charged with taking Lauren's life, Stephen won't plead guilty. For the next 2 years, police offer him several plea deals, but he denies every single one. In 2014, police uncover another piece of evidence that will get him once and for all. They find video footage of him filming inside Lauren's apartment for several hours on the exact night of the crime. In the footage, he checks to see how doors are set up, and from outside Lauren's windows, he even films to see where she is in the apartment. On the 21st of April 2014, Stephen McDaniels finally pleads guilty to the crime. He reads a 700-word confession in front of Lauren's family and friends. After watching her on the evening of the crime, Stephen enters her apartment at midnight. As he stands over her wearing a mask, Lauren allegedly awakes, asking him to leave. However, he proceeds to strangle her, ultimately ending her life. He drags her body into the bathroom and places it in a bathtub. He proceeds to cut her body into pieces with a hacksaw, and these were the last moments of Lauren's life. The judge sentences Stephen McDaniels to life in prison. He is eligible for parole in 2041 when he is 66 years old. Number 3. Family Man. Moving on to a recent and tragic case involving what many would deem a strong and healthy American family. Chris Watts and his wife of 6 years, Shanann, lived in Frederick, Colorado with their 2 children, Bella and Celeste. On the 13th of August 2018, Shanann catches a ride home from her friend and colleague Nicole after a business trip. She gets home around 1:40 a.m. Later, the same day, Nicole becomes concerned because Shanann misses her doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. and doesn't return her text messages. At around 10 past 12 p.m., Nicole goes to the Watts residence to check on Shanann as she missed a business meeting as well. Nicole rings the bell and knocks on the door at the house, but it goes unanswered. At this point, she informs both Chris Watts and the Frederick Police Department. At around 1:40 p.m., officers arrive to investigate the case. Chris grants the police permission to search the house. Shannon's purse, phone, and keys are found inside. Also, her car and kids' car seats are still in the house, but both Shanann and the kids are missing. The following day, on August 14th, the FBI joins the search. Chris Watts also gives an interview to a local TV station outside his house, pleading for his family's return.
So you give me your first and last name.
Chris Watts, WATTS.
What's going on right now around your house?
And right now it's got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent and see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere. And right now it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
What happened? Your wife came home. Tell me what's.
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like if she's not getting back to her, like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when I came home. And then walked in the house, and nothing was vanished. Nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here. The kids weren't here. Nobody was here.
What's your wife's name?
Shanann, Shanann.
What's your kids?
Bella and Celeste.
How do you spell Celeste?
Celeste.
How old are your daughters?
4. Bella's 4. Celeste is 3.
And so, how many times did you try calling her?
I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times, just to say, what's going on. Like cause after I called her and texted her once, it's like maybe she was just busy. Like she had just gotten back. Like everybody's probably calling her from her trip. She just got back from Arizona, and I figured she was just busy. But when her friend showed up, that's what it was like. It registered like, all right, this isn't right.
Do you think she just took off? Do you think?
I mean, right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But I mean, could she have just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, like I want them back now. Like that's what's in my head. Like if they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. Like if they're not safe, last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me, but it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
I'm gonna ask some kind of tough questions. Your relationship with the kids.
I mean, my kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life. And just like, I mean, last night, like during when they usually eat dinner, it was just like I miss them. Like, I mean, I miss telling them, hey, you got to eat that or you're not going to get your dessert, and just like you're not going to get your snack afterward. I miss that. Like I miss them, cuddle up on their couches. They have like a Minnie Mouse couch and a Sophia couch that they cuddle up on and watch, Bubble Guppies or something. And it was just like, it was tearing me apart last night, and I needed that. I needed that last night, and for nobody to be here last night and to go into their rooms and know that I wasn't going to turn the rain machines on, and I know that I wasn't going to turn their monitor on, and know I wasn't going to kiss them to bed tonight. It was that's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want.
Where was she gone for? She was on. She came back Sunday, so that's you at night.
Yeah, because her flight got delayed from Arizona because of like other storms around the nation. So she's supposed to get home like 11. She got home at like 1:48. She got to bed about 2.
What was she going for? Like family trip or what?
It was a Thrive direct sales. It was a local event that was down there between a bunch of leaders in the company.
And that day she was back, I mean.
I left work early that morning, like 5:15, 5:30. So like she barely got into bed pretty much.
And this might be a tough question, but did you guys get into an argument before she left?
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that. But I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like, somebody has to come forward.
You spoke to her family, like her parents?
Yeah, they've been in constant contact, like every hour. I mean, everybody back in North Carolina and the East Coast. I mean, from Maine to Florida.
What is her parents saying to you? Like,
They're just like if they need to get on a flight, just let them know. Because I mean, they feel helpless right now because they're on the opposite side of the country. I mean, Colorado is. I mean, you can't just drive around and look. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't really know what you're looking for. That's what the cops pretty much told me. That first day, I was like, I want to get out and drive around. They said, you wouldn't know what to look for.
Last couple questions. What is law enforcement? What have the police or the sheriffs or your neighbors? Is anybody? What's police saying to you?
Right now, this is what they're doing right now is with the canines in the sense. I think this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing they've done so far because yesterday the Frederick Police Department did all the searching of the house and tried to gather whatever information they could. And with the detectives, officers, and sergeants, and today it's, I mean, obviously with all the activity that's around, there's a lot going on around here, and I really hope that all this can lead to something positive.
What did your neighbors? Did they see anything? Did your neighbors see anything?
No, like the police department went door to door asking, like, cameras and everything, just like nothing.
And my last question, if you have any though, so feel free to step in. My last question is, if your wife can see this, if she can watch this, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody.
According to the police, Chris's stories don't add up. He continually changes timelines and alters his story. Chris informs the police that in the morning before the disappearance, he and Shanann had an argument in which he expressed that he wanted a divorce. On August 15th, a co-worker of Chris comes forward saying she's having an affair with Chris and that he has told her he and Shanann are in the final stages of divorcing each other. With Chris as a suspect, they retrace Chris's travel on August 13th using a GPS from his work truck. At 4:15 p.m. on the 15th, drones spot a telltale bedsheet at the oil site where Chris works. This bedsheet matches with what the police had found at the Watts' residence. On August 16th, a disturbing discovery is made. At Chris's workplace, authorities found the bodies of Bella and Celeste in an oil tank. The body of Shanann is found nearby in a shallow grave. Even more heartbreakingly is the fact that Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant with their unborn child. On August 21st, Chris is charged with taking the lives of Bella, Celeste, and Shanann. Months later, on November 6th, Chris pleads guilty to all 3 charges to avoid the death penalty. On November 19th, he's sentenced to a life in prison without the possibility of parole. Shannon's father, Frank, emotionally states in court, "I trusted you to take care of them. They also trusted you, the heartless monster, and then you take them out like trash. You disgust me." What forced a supposedly loving father of 2, a man whom many adored, to ultimately destroy his entire family? Was he out to start a new life with his affair? What do you think? We want to thank each and every new subscriber and everyone who was watching our videos. Somehow it has taken off and we are forever grateful. We've been doing this for 2 years and we couldn't imagine the channel exploding like it did all of a sudden. And for those who don't like my voice, thank you for watching, I guess.